Boo! Did I scare you? That's the sound of the price of the Steam Deck OLED going up. Well, it's happened, folks. The prices of the what was once beautiful and affordable Steam Deck has now finally gone up and reached really expensive prices akin to the same prices we're seeing on some of the other handhelds, the Microsoft Xbox, or I should say the ROG and Microsoft Xbox Ally and Ally X, as well as the Lenovo Go 2, which were priced up there a little bit more, but also had larger specs. So yeah, what is going on with it? Well, it looks like AI is buying all of the chips everywhere. That appears to be the situation. And even technology that's been out for a while now, like the Steam Deck, which has been out for a couple of years now, are now reaching prices of almost double. A $300 price increase is nothing to scoff at, folks. But what is going on? What is happening with the situation? And is it worth it to pick up one of these at the new price point? Well, we're going to dive in and find out. What we put up on the screen here is a little infographic that will show you the comparison between the leading models that we have here now. So what you can see on the screen is we've got the Steam Deck OLED. We've got the two models that they're offering, the 512 and the 1 terabyte, with their price points as well as their storage. And we're comparing that now to the leading ones that are out there. There are some other choices we're going to get into in a bit. We'll show you some of the other models, but they're a little bit older, and you probably can get some of those aftermarket for some cheaper prices. And the specs on those are even lower and not really comparable to what these mainline offerings are going to be. So we'll cover those in a little bit. But as you can see here on the screen, we've got the three leading models, I would say, for at least the handheld PC gaming market. And side by side, if you look, the Steam Deck isn't too bad away from the ROG Ally X in terms of price. Right, you've got the upper model Steam Deck looking there at $949, and the upper model Xbox ROG Ally X at $999. So that's only a $50 price point. And at that price point, I would say if you are in the market for one of these handhelds, if you've got roughly that amount of money, it is a little bit more, but if you're looking to be able to spend up there towards the grand price point, I would personally move towards the ROG Xbox Ally X. Why is that, folks? Well, I'll tell you right off bat. The main reason for that is going to be the AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme, as well as it has a little bit better of a GPU architecture there. Makes a huge difference. Now, this is for more advanced games. So for me personally, Helldivers is one of my most favorite games. For the longest time, I put, I think, 300 hours into Helldivers on the Steam Deck. It is perfectly capable of running that, folks. If you want to play Helldivers and you're looking for something that's a little bit more budget oriented and you don't really need the graphics to be that high, you can do some of the upscaling. You don't mind if there's a little bit of that motion blur. Steam Deck's a great option for you. Very ergonomic in the hands, and it'll be able to run Helldivers just fine. It is a little bit more of a honed down experience, I should say. Then I got the Xbox ROG Ally X when it first came out, and let me tell you, that was an immediate upgrade. We're talking FSR on, barely being able to handle 30 FPS with the Steam Deck, to now we still couldn't have FSR on, but we can bump that up to native instead of doing any sort of upscaling, and we can even bump some of the graphics up from low to medium. And we can maintain well above 30 frames per second. If we put it into performance mode, we can start to maintain FPS even above 60 on the ROG Xbox Ally X, and that was just something that was not really even possible on the Steam Deck. So that right there, I would say, is going to make it, if you're looking just for gameplay, especially for some of the more newer oriented games, Xbox is going to be the one I would hone in on. It's a really great sort of mid price point there in terms of performance, raw power, and affordability. If you're looking for something that's even more power, I have not been able to get my hands on one personally, but I have heard that the Lenovo Legion Go 2 does perform even a little bit better than the Xbox. I don't know if that's just because of the architecture or what. It does have that bigger OLED screen as well, so you can get some vibrant pop on that as well. And I think with that model, you can spec to get the a little bit better RAM there. So that is also an option. That is going to be way priced up there, and that is something that if you have the money to spend and you're looking for portability and gaming, I would go with that one. But otherwise, these are sort of the main ones that are out there now, at least in terms of PC gaming handhelds. One other note that I will say that might be a decision point for you is that if you hate Windows, you don't want Windows. Windows is just something that you cannot win does not for you. then don't go for the Xbox Ally X. You can actually get the Lenovo models shipped with SteamOS. So you can choose. That's one of the nice things about Lenovo is you can choose either or, Steam or Windows. I believe it does ship with Windows. And of course, the Steam Deck also ships with SteamOS. So those are your options. Those are sort of your main options. And now we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the aftermarket options. So up on screen now, we have some of the older models that you might be able to find with some great aftermarket prices on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or something to that effect. And you'll see here, we've got basically the older Lenovo. We've got the Lenovo Legion Go, which is the nice detachable controllers like the Switch, and the Legion Go S, which is not detachable, but also uses a very similar Lenovo architecture there. And then before the Xbox ROG Allies, the year before that, we had the just regular ROG Allies. I actually did pick up one of these in between my Steam Deck and my Xbox ROG just to see how the performance would go. And it was a little bit more performant for sure. It does have a little bit faster, I think, of a GPU than the Steam Deck. And because of that, yeah, we're on Zen 4, I guess, instead of Zen 2 there, because it did actually perform a little bit more performant on Helldivers 2, which was great. That actually bumped it just enough for me. I think I was able to bump the scaling from super scaling closer to native. So it was a nominal performance upgrade. It wasn't anything major, but it was a nice kind of in-between step for me before the Xbox One was introduced. These are all great. They'll run, indie games fantastic for you. They can run some of those other games just at lower FPS, some of those higher graphics games, I should say. And if you're in the market and a little bit more budget friendly, if you can pick one of these up for a couple hundred aftermarket used, definitely worth it. Especially if you're not looking for a powerhouse, just something to play some of the new games, the new Silksong game that came out, indie games like that. This thing will perform no problem. Aether and Iron, another great indie game, would run absolutely fantastic on these. So yeah, if you're in the market for something a little bit more budget friendly, I would recommend potentially picking these up as well. And then another honorable mention would just be the Steam Deck LCD that is discontinued. Valve isn't selling it anymore, but again, just another great little device, especially for those older games. And just some other fine notes, just because I had the pleasure of having these models, playing with them, playing dozens of gaming hours on this across of multiple games, from high intensive games to lower 2D games. Just a few notes that I would say. The Xbox ROG is looking at just a regular IPS screen. Nothing wrong with that. It gets the job done. But I will tell you, the Steam Deck OLED screen, oh my goodness gracious, it pops. The color on that you can see. It really does. Sometimes I'm playing on the Xbox and I just go back and I'm like, oh, God, I miss those OLED colors. Especially just with vibrant colors, they really just pop to the eye just a little bit more. And if you're not looking for performance, but you're looking for, just really nice screens, I would say the Xbox ROG Ally X does fail in that department. The Steam Deck OLED is gonna be good for you. In terms of ergonomics, the Steam Deck is also, you can't go wrong with the ergonomics on it. It's really, really nice. But I will say the Xbox ROG Ally X did have a huge upgrade from the old, just regular ROG Ally. The last year's model, the non-Xbox one, was kind of a little bit of a brick. Do I have it here? Yeah, it's just kind of, you can see here, there's not really anywhere for your palms to rest, which isn't great. It's not bad. You'll see here, I even have the little strap on here thing that you can dock this in to a little gaming pillow, because it was actually getting a little rough on my hands in terms of ergonomics. But I'm glad to say that the Xbox ROG Ally X solved that problem. You could see they really did some work to fine tune the sides so that you have a little bit of a place to rest your hands to grip. And that does help. It is a little heavier than the other models, but because it has the better ergonomics, it does work. If you're in terms of just ergonomics, that would make the over-under in terms of this model versus the older ROG models. In terms of Steam Deck versus this, I'd say they're about the same. The only other thing of note is that Steam Deck does have those trackpads on the side. It'll be really great for games that require a cursor, like Civ, or what's that game? Frostpunk. Really great games like that. Anything that requires a cursor, Master of Orion, the Steam Deck's going to win on that. Simply because the Xbox doesn't even have a cursor. You're kind of locked into either touchscreen or just the analog joysticks. So yeah, This channel is dedicated to mobile gaming. That is pretty much the sole thing that I do. Unlike Charlie, who recently made a video about the Steam Deck and says he doesn't do mobile gaming. I am sort of the opposite. My life circumstance. I travel a lot. I don't really have a rig that I can do PC gaming on. I grew up with consoles. I love playing consoles. I love controller format. Not that mouse and keyboard is bad. Of course, we actually just got ourselves a new keyboard and mouse so we can play some League of Legends and stuff on the new Xbox ROG Ally X. So we'll be trying that. And we can see how that'll work, performance and everything. So stay tuned to the channel for that. But yeah, in terms of what you should get, honestly, it's whatever's going to work for you in terms of what your price point is, what budget you're looking at, what your needs are. If you are needing a powerhouse, something that's going to be able to play Cyberpunk, these newer games, err towards the upper end. Xbox ROG Ally X, the Lenovo Legion Go 2, something a little less power, but something, just play more indie games. Steam Deck will do just great for you. It's a fantastic option. So. But in terms of what the channel pick gets right now, what FullMetal's pick is, I would have to go for the Xbox ROG Ally X. I don't know if there's going to be a price increase on the horizon for that. I would not put it past Microsoft to see what Valve is doing and go, ooh, that money. So, folks, if you're in the market, I probably would say pick it up now. I cannot see how prices would go down. I think we're kind of locked in here for a while. I was reading a thread on Reddit before, we'll put that up on the screen, that sort of implied that prices will never go down, not until the end of capitalism. So, folks, I don't know if this is late stage capitalism or what. I don't really know if I believe that or not. But they kind of are saying that until capitalism ends, which I guess would mean these things are free, these prices are going to keep going up. I don't know if that is the case, folks, but I would certainly say with all of the AI data centers and everything that's going on, lock these things in now, 2026 rather than 2027, 2028, because don't think they're going down anytime soon. So yeah, that's FullMetal's pick for the channel, Xbox ROG Ally X, at least for this current date and time. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. See ya. Boopity boop, bop, boop, bop, 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 bop. Thanks for watching.